Hi guys, so this video is going to be the Essay 3 prompt explanation. So we're going to go over the prompt, the outline, the rubric. I'll show you where you can find some sample essays, the works cited, and then I'm also going to cover a couple of the discussion board assignments and where to find the film Hidden Figures, which we will watch for this unit. So lots of good stuff coming in this video. Please watch the whole thing. Alright, so I can go ahead and click on the tasks list for 1022 and notice all of these links here are the materials for Essay 3. So we can go ahead and start with the prompt, okay? And here we go. Alright, so we can go ahead and get started. So we're going to do the Stanton discussion board, Glassbell, Cisneros, and Brady discussion board, and then the Hidden Figures discussion board with the rough draft. These will be due the same day, so please take note of that. And then the final draft. Okay, so really quick right off the bat, I want to show you on Blackboard where you can go to find the movie Hidden Figures. Okay, so if we go back to our modules, okay, in the 11.5 module, there's a link here for Rent Hidden Figures. Okay, and now I'm going to show you both of these options. Okay, so option 1, it says here, you can rent it from Amazon, so you can go ahead and click that link, and the link for the movie comes up right away. So you can sign in if you already have an account, and then you can rent the movie. There's more purchase options here, so if you want, you can get it for standard definition would be $4.99. That's what I would recommend doing if you don't have an account. And actually, you might actually need to have an account in order to do this. I'm not sure. So this is one way that you can rent the movie, okay? You would just click the link and then put in your card information. The other way is to rent it on Redbox. So I have the link right here, okay? And you can click Rent at the Box, DVD or Blu-ray, whichever you prefer, and then you can actually type in your zip code and find a Redbox that's close to you that has the DVD, and you can say hold for pickup, right? And you can do it that way, and it'll take you here, and then you would just hit continue and pay. It's $1.63 to do it this way per night, so be sure to return it by 9 p.m. otherwise it will charge you for another night. But that is the other way that you can get the movie. Okay, so I've provided both links for you there. Alright, so now let's return to our prompt, okay? So some background. Elizabeth Cady Stanton's Declaration of Sentiments and Resolutions outlines the platform for the women's rights movement. Susan Glassbell's Trifles is a play that argues for female solidarity and debuted in theaters just 4 years before women earned the right to vote with the ratification of the 19th Amendment. Her text explores the perception of Mr. and Mrs. Wright's marriage, as well as Mrs. Wright's individual happiness. She is the main suspect in her husband's murder, and the audience witnesses the interaction between the male investigators and their wives, and who ultimately solves the crime. Hidden Figures was released in 2016, but it is about events in the 1960s. It's a contemporary film about African American women who were paramount in NASA's early space program in the 1960s. It follows 3 different women, an engineer, a programmer, and a physicist mathematician, and reveals the direct role they played in a successful space mission, stories that have been untold until now. Judy Brady's I Want a Wife outlines the duties of a traditional wife and argues that she would love to have a wife who follows these prescriptions. After all, who wouldn't, she says. Women Hollering Creek by Sandra Cisneros delves into the troublesome and abusive relationship between husband and wife and echoes the urban legend of La Llorona, or crying woman, a woman who drowns her children in a river when she finds out that her husband has been unfaithful and then proceeds to drown herself. The ghost of La Llorona then mourns her loss by crying and looking for her children. Cisneros' story, however, revises this tale by adding an element of female solidarity and empowerment. The river in the story means something quite different than it does in the folktale. Okay, so that is the context basically of all 5 of our readings for this unit. Okay, now for the essay assignment. For this assignment, write an essay which answers the question, has the single story of women changed since pre-suffrage? Why or why not? Explore the traditional roles of women that are present in our unit's text, and make an argument for how or if women's roles have changed, and if or how women's rights have been granted. Use at least 3 of our course readings as the foundation for your evidence, but you may also bring in current events to bolster your discussion of modern events. So, basically for this essay, this is the question that you're going to be answering. Has the single story of women changed since pre-suffrage when Stanton was writing? Why or why not? So your answer to this question will become your thesis statement, all right? So these are just some questions here to help you generate some material. Are discussions of women's roles and rights still relevant today? In what ways are women still fighting for equality? And are these efforts necessary? Okay, so these are some questions that you can use to generate material, like I said, but again, this is the question that you are answering in your essay. So this paper needs to be 4 to 6 pages, incorporate at least 3 of our unit's readings, be MLA, creative title, same old, right? Concrete evidence from at least 3 sources from our unit. And then, of course, the bold is the most important. Fully developed analysis of how the evidence supports each topic sentence and overall thesis. So what students tend to do in this paper is they tend to summarize the sources and then just kind of make a generalization about them. So be sure that you're using very specific evidence from the text. Pull out specific quotes. Pull out specific scenes from the movie if you're going to use it. Very, very specific. You don't want to talk in general terms about the text too much. You want to be as specific as you can. Okay, and then of course you're addressing a scholarly audience, so do not use you and your. Okay, do not use you and your. Okay, so that is basically the prompt. Okay, so now we can get into some of the other things that are on Blackboard. So let's go back to our modules. Okay, so we have the argumentative essay outline. Keep in mind here, this is the same one that we use for essay 2. It's very brief. Okay, here instead of cultural expectations, right, you're going to contextualize the topic of women, right? So you just need to change that for your specific topic for women for this unit and your thesis. Then again, same as last time. First reason to support your thesis, evidence, and explanation. And then you repeat the body paragraph structure for every additional paragraph you have after the third one. Okay. You can go ahead and click next and we'll see the rubric now. Okay. Oh, it actually opens right there. Okay. So same rubric as last time as well. Thesis, organization, development, style, grammar, MLA, intro, and conclusion. And you can, when you go to submit your essay, you'll be able to click on View Longer Description to see what specifically I'm looking for each of the criteria. Okay, and here's your first sample essay. This one's called Women in the World. And this was a PDF, which is why I had to black out this person's name. But you can go through here and read what this student wrote. This thesis is the story of single story of women has indeed changed. This is pretty straightforward. And then this person goes on to explain why. Notice he's using trifles here. He used Stanton in this paragraph. He used Glassbell and Stanton in this paragraph, which is really good, so that each body paragraph doesn't end up being just a single author. It's a really good idea to try to integrate more than one author into the same paragraph. This one's about hidden figures. Okay, and again, he's bringing back Stanton in every paragraph. So you can read that one. And then the next one, emerging roles for women. Okay, just want to show you briefly here. Okay. The single story of women has adapted to no longer fit one woman, and the progress women continue to have made with all their rights is tangible today. Okay, so that is this person's thesis. Notice it's a little bit more fully developed there. Okay, and then she goes on as well to use her sources. Okay, so these are really good samples for you to look at. Okay, this document here, embedding quotes and more. This one's really good for quote integration. Notice on the rubric for style and mechanics, the criteria there is no second person and making sure you integrate your quotes really well. So go through this document here and notice how These ones are not embedded or integrated, and these ones are. So be sure that you're practicing with that. And then lastly, for SA3, we have the works cited. So just like last time, all you need to do is download this, delete SA3 when you go to submit your essay. Just make sure it only says works cited, and then copy and paste the sources that you use for your paper. And then if you add any outside sources, just be sure to add those to the works cited. Okay. And then the Stanton discussion board here, this is something I wanted to show you. So you're going to read Stanton, she's in your textbook, and then you're going to answer these 7 reading questions and then respond to 2 peers. Pretty straightforward. So whatever you come up with for any of the discussion boards, you will be able to use for SA3. It says this here. Remember that you can use anything from this DB, so really use it to critically reflect on the text and to think ahead to a potential argument or thesis, right? So be sure that you're really putting a lot of work and effort into the discussion boards because you can use whatever you want in SA3, okay? So I want to show you the Glassbell Cisneros Brady discussion board. It's right here in the 1029 folder. Fair warning about this one, it is rather long because there are 3 texts that you need to read. There's 5 questions for each of the 3 texts. Okay, so you do have a week to do it, but be sure that you read early, take notes, so that you can answer the questions in a timely manner. For that module, in the task section, you can see what you need to read right here. I have also provided some pre-reading questions for trifles. It is a very abstract text, so you want to make sure that you take note of these following here, as it says. There's a lot of symbols going on and a lot of kind of beneath the surface things that you will want to pay attention to. So these questions will kind of guide you as you read, okay? And then the Woman Hollering Creek link is right here for you to find the reading, okay? And then lastly, the Hidden Figures is right here in the 11.5 folder, okay? There's some pictures that are loading. So you can see here there's 6 questions, so you need to watch the movie and answer the questions. And the reason that I'm covering this right now is because the same week that you guys are doing Hidden Figures, you are also doing the rough draft with the peer responses, just like last time. Okay, so I've outlined all of the instructions very carefully. So I would recommend, because that week is pretty hefty, I'm not gonna lie, the movie, the discussion board, and the rough draft, I would recommend that you have watched the movie and done the discussion board probably by Tuesday or Wednesday during the week, so that you have enough time to complete your rough draft by Sunday. And then the responses to your peers will be due Monday. And then you'll submit SA3 in the 11-12 folder, okay? So that is the ins and outs of Unit 3. We went over the essay prompt, the rubric, the outline, all the discussion boards, and where you can rent Hidden Figures. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to email me.